Hello and welcome to Up the Villa. I knew that you guys would all absolutely love the new intro. Thank you, everybody who's said that you like the new logo and the new feel of it. The intro video, I absolutely love it. I think it's the best one yet, and I'm really happy with it. I'm happy with what the sort of the branding looks like and the feel of the place. So we'll get into like the reasons why first, and then we'll get into the transfer rumor. So we set the podcast up now about 4 years ago, and it was just an initial idea. And as we've grown, as we've got bigger, as we've developed, as we've changed, the one bugbear that I hated that I had to call it Up the Villa podcast. So now I've got rid of the podcast side of things, and I just feel like the logo fits with the feel of what I want it to look like. We'll have merchandise coming out soon, and I think that has a better feel to it as well with the new logo. And the name, I just feel like it's just better. It suits us. And the logo was something that I wanted it to look super clean, super professional, able to have different variations. So if you look at the bottom corner where you can click subscribe, I think you have to just the right side, the right bottom. If you hover over that, it's white. We've got a blue version. So across socials, we're able to like change the color. So you see how Villa can change the color of their logos. You know, the new training top with Barkley, it's lime green. So we're able to do that as well. And that just fits in a little bit better with what we're able to do. So it's a fresh change. It's a fresh direction. Obviously, the channel's going in one direction. We're doing well. So I just felt like it was just fitting, basically. Right. So enough waffling. Let's get into transfer hub mode. Another one. Aston Villa are linked with Bijol, who had a fantastic game for Slovenia against Portugal. He's a no-nonsense, tough defender who can defend, who can marshal, who can communicate, and who can get his head on a lot of things. His heading ability is brilliant. He's aggressive. His reading of his defensive duties with his teammates is brilliant. He can step up and step out of that defensive role, dribbling as well. But he is a very, very strong, aerial dominant defender who I think we've already touched on. We've already spoke about. That's the type of profile we think we're looking for in this window from our defender / right back who's coming in. Just aerially dominant, very, very strong, but can have freedom to allow players like Pau, players like Konsa to get on the ball and play a little bit as well. So this one's coming from Alessio Alimo, who is reporting that Bijol is linked with a move to Aston Villa. So let's have a look in general. Up the Villa and SofaScore transfer hub fashion. It's going to take a bit of a while. I probably am going to drop it in there sometimes. It's staying. The light is staying. That is now vintage material. That is vintage material. Right, so Jaka Bijol, let's go. So he's right foot. We're having a lot of right footers linked with us. Right footed, 25 years of age, over 6 foot as well, which is massive. Market value of 9.3 million. Now, I want to show you his rating so far in the Euros, and then I'm going to show you his rating of a handful of games. So 7.45 in Euro 2024, which is brilliant considering some of the teams that they have come up against: Denmark, England, Portugal. He was brilliant against Portugal. So he's defending against this whole tournament. We've got, what's his aerials? His aerials are at 53%. His duels are at 56%. He's getting 9.5 clearances per game in the Euros. He's getting 2.3 ball recoveries, 2.8 tackles per game, 1.5 interceptions per game. I would say that Bijol is probably one of the standout defenders at Euro 2024. You know how we had like Gvardiol at the World Cup? Bijol is a different player, obviously, but Bijol is doing something that's like, when you watch him, you're like, he's quality. He's fantastic at the Euros. Let's go to Serie A from Udinese, teamed up with Keenan Davis. So hopefully, we've spoke about this before as well, that having good relationships with clubs helps with negotiations. I imagine we've now got a really good relationship with Chelsea, with Everton, with previous clubs that we worked with, Juventus. So maybe we've got something with Udinese that they're thinking, Keenan Davis kept us up. Let's do a deal. So that would be great. Right. So want to have a look at this. I want to show you this. So you know how in the past I talk about the 7. Let's just have a look at his last couple of games over on this side. We're looking on the left-hand side. You know, we want 7s. We want 7s, don't we? How green is that? I mean, the consistency there is just absolutely phenomenal. So, yeah, consistency, very, very good. So for score over the course of last season, 6.99. So one shy of the 7 mark, which we know he can get there. Look at his last 5 games. He was consistently very, very good. He played 24 games, started 23, averaged 87 minutes per game. Attacking-wise, let's not go there. I think he could hopefully improve from his attacking set pieces, especially. His accuracy per game, 79%. In his own half, 88%. Opposition half, 62%. But this is where we want to look at his game, the defending. So over the course of last season, 6 clean sheets, 1 interception per game, 1.8 tackles per game, 3.5 ball recoveries per game, 5.7 clearances per game. So he does a lot of defending, and he's used to doing a lot of defending. Hopefully at Villa, if he can, he wouldn't be doing that much defending. But there's a stat I want to show you here, which is why we're here as well. So successful dribbles, I think they've had a mistake there. You've got to have had at least one successful dribble. So total duels won, 65%. We've got ground duels, 52%. And aerial duels, 76%. That is incredible numbers. 76% on those aerials. He's just ridiculous. So his market value is looking at around 10 million. He has played for the Slovenia national side under 16s, 17s, 18s, 19s, and 21s. He's been a part of CSKA Moscow, Hanover 96, and then he's moved to Udinese for 4 million. So 4 million. We have also got that he's right-footed over here. Market value looking at around 10 million then. So I really like him. I think he's a type of profile that would help us massively. He's got key attributes that would bring something to the team. So here we've got 1.55 blocks. We've got 6.05 clearances. Aerials 3.63 per 90, which is huge. Progressive passes 1.81. So really good. Central defender, and he's got really good attributes. No nonsense in the air. Marshals the defence. Could potentially see him playing in a 3 at the back. I think that might suit him as well. And I think when I'm looking at it from a Villa point of view, I think if we were to go sort of like Conser right, Bijol in there, Pau, you've really got that like bit of everything really. You've got Pau on the ball, Bijol's defending, Conser's 1v1 / what he brings to the Villa side. So this is a really interesting one, and I think it's definitely a position that we're going to be looking to strengthening. Hermoso left Atletico Madrid yesterday as well, so maybe there's going to be something in that. But I think there will be a defender coming in, so I think it's interesting to see what you guys think at home and where you're at. Ross Barkley came yesterday, and that episode was pre-recorded. I recorded that about a month ago, and I had it sat there waiting to go. So you saw Irabuna in there, you saw Louise in there still. So a lot's happened in a in a month, and I didn't want to re-record it because I thought it was really good, the analysis that I gave. So I thought, yeah, it's staying. So yeah, I'm buzzing about Barkley. I think that is a transfer that's going to be one of those very under the radar / underrated transfers that get done. I think anyone that saw him last season would say he was absolutely phenomenal. And I think he will bring that to Aston Villa. Everything that I'm hearing from these players, Samuel Ealing Jr. speaking about how Emery can improve players, and he's really looking forward to working with Emery and getting stuck into it and just developing. That is absolutely fantastic to hear, because we all know that he's going to develop under Emery, but even he's saying it coming in, and he knows how he's going to work hard. He's going to be moulded into this Unai Emery player, and it's just brilliant to see. And I think Ross Barkley the same. We saw with Tielemans when he came in. You've all got to get on board, and you've got to understand what Emery wants, because it's not a case of you were good at Luton, you come straight into this Villa team and play like that. It doesn't work like that. Emery will have a specific position and role for Ross Barkley, and he's got to learn over pre-season and adapt to what Emery wants from him. So I think there'll be a lot of learning for Ross Barkley, and that's why when I see, he was crap for us last time, blah, 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 it's a completely different Ross Barkley coming. So, and it's going to be a completely different role. So I'm not fazed by that whatsoever. I think it's going to be brilliant. And, we're building this whole team. He's not a Douglas Luiz replacement. He's going to play in his specific role within the team, whether it's minutes in the Champions League, whether it's minutes in the Premier League. All these players are going to play a key role, so I think it's exciting. I think it's a squad game now. We've still got to remember that it's a squad game. We would have been crying out for Ross Barkley last season in that running towards the end of the season. Absolutely crying. We were crying out for Ross Barkley to come. So, we know how important it is to have those types of players in the squad that can play in all these different positions as well. So, yeah, Bijol, I'm a big fan. Hopefully you all like the new intro and the new feel about the place. So, up the Villa.